Hello everyone, welcome back to the Online Biz TV channel. I am Ruth, and in this video I will show you 3 ways that you can make your own logo for either free or very cheap. Let's get started. Why would you want to create your own logo? Why not just pay a designer to do an amazing job and create your perfect logo like we all dream and think about? The answer is pretty easy, and that is resources. Budget. If you're just starting out with an online business, you might not have a lot of resources. You might have a very limited budget, and you want to make sure that this budget goes to the correct places. With all due respect to branding and a logo, these are things that are pretty unimportant in the beginning. And I'm not saying it's not important to have good, consistent branding. I'm not saying that you don't need to focus on your logo and on your brand and colors. What I am saying is that in the beginning, you need to make sure that your budget goes towards marketing your business, getting clients, customers, getting people to pay you for your service and product. Because if this doesn't happen, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. And if you really want to make it a business, you need to stop focusing on the fluff. And unfortunately, a logo is part of the fluff. A logo is something that you can create in one day, in a few hours, in an hour even, and just be done with it. Run with your logo, even if it's not perfect, and then you can change it in the future if you want to. If in the future, when you grow and have the budget for it, you want to do a rebranding, you can totally do that. I'll tell you a little secret: no one will care. Look at existing brands who have changed their logo. Look at Instagram. They have evolved during the years. Look at Facebook even. The logo has changed quite a few times, and most people don't really care. Even more importantly, when you're starting out and no one knows about you, no one really cares about your logo. When you feel like it's time to really build your brand and really niche down and focus on branding, then you can start thinking more in depth about your logo and investing in it. But in the beginning, you need to invest in the actual business. Sometimes things like a logo are a really good distraction if you feel lost in your business, and this is not what we want you to do in this channel. We want you to actually succeed in whatever online business you are working on. So after this long intro, let's get started with 3 different ways that you can build your very own logo. We are going to jump into screen share so I can actually do it with you guys, but just a quick summary of these 3 ways. The first one would be a completely DIY with Canva or Photoshop. And I'm gonna show you on Canva because it is free and we're all about free here. But if you have Photoshop and if you have the skills, you can probably get better results there. The second would be a Logomakr, a DIY Logomakr. And the third would be Fiverr. And Fiverr is not free. I mean, Fiverr is free, but getting a job, a freelancer to do it from Fiverr is not free. But we're still gonna talk about it because some people are still going to want to pay someone. And I want to help you find someone to make your logo for cheap. So let's jump in to the video and start making your logo. Okay, so there we are, and jumping in to the first method of creating your own logo, it is by using Canva. And Canva, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is a free online design tool. It is kind of like Photoshop, but way simpler and free, and you don't need to install anything on your computer. So Canva has a paid plan where you can actually get to do more advanced stuff, but we are going to use the free plan and you will see how to create a beautiful logo with it. So to create your own logo, you have to go to create a design, and then you can choose one of the templates that you have here. These templates are size templates. When you create the actual design, you will see inside the actual design templates as well. So I can just type in logo, and as you can see, there are a lot of different themed logos. You can choose one of them if they fit you, but I recommend that you just choose logo, and then you will have all of the themes inside and you can choose from them. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so as you can see, Canva created a square design for us, and all we have to do now is actually start using it. The background is white, which is the main disadvantage of Canva. When you are using the free plan, you actually can't download your logo with a transparent background. So what you can do is either upgrade your plan just for the trial 14 days, download your logo transparent and then cancel your plan. That's one option. Or you can change the background as many times as you want for whatever color. So if your website has like a gray kind of color to it in the background, you can use that. That way, if you fit the background to the background of your website, it will look like the logo is transparent in the background. Now I'm gonna move myself to the side so you can actually see the different templates here. So we have a few different templates and we can choose from them. As you can see, there are a lot of really nice templates in here, and I just need to choose the one that fits me. Take into account that the text, the fonts, the colors, the images, everything is changeable in Canva. You're not stuck with anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose one of these. I just want an image and text. It needs to be pretty simple. This is a really good fit for me. But let's say I want to try another one. I can just create another page in the same design and let's go for this one. First thing first, let's change the colors. So my colors are black and red, and I actually am going to use this red that they have here, or this one I think. If I want to, I can go to create a new color and play around with it, okay? But I'm gonna use the one that they already have. I don't think I need this second line of text, so I'm gonna just delete this. And here we are called onlinebiz.tv. And there we go. This can basically be my logo. I can also maybe change some of the text to red. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, this looks nice. I could use this. I could just increase the whole thing so it takes up more space on the canvas. This is a nice logo, it's okay, but let's move forward. Now, this one I actually like better. Let's start with the text because we're pretty clear on what we want to do here. Now this is too big, so I'm going to decrease the size significantly. And while I like this gray color, it doesn't really fit my brand, so we're going to go with black. Now for the image. As you can see, you can change the colors in the image, but honestly, I want to change the image entirely. So what I'm going to do is go to Elements, and then I'm going to look for images that are relevant to my logo. So for example, TV. There you can see a lot of images and illustrations that Canva offer for you to use. You need to note that all the ones with the crown next to them, you have to have a pro account to use them because they actually cost money. So we're going to stay away from those. First, let me just delete this. And I'm going to use this TV. I really like it. Already looking really good. I am happy with this. Let's make the TV red. Okay, that is looking really nice. But it's still not good enough. I want... let's do a play button. I do want my play button to be more with like the round edges, but I don't think they have it here for free. So I'm going to use the regular one. Honestly, if this was the logo that I was going to use in my website, I would have made the extra effort and looked on Google for the exact play button that I wanted. But in this case, this is good enough. We just need to make it smaller, put it inside the TV. Even a little smaller, and there we go. I think it looks really nice. And then because we are an educational channel, I could leave it at that, but let's do education. See if something from this theme can help us out. Okay, so we already have the graduate cup. We also have this laptop that is looking really nice. Actually, let's see if we change its colors, what happens. I'm going to keep it very flat, so I'm not going to play around with too many colors, just the red and the black. You know what? This is actually really nice. Like, you could just use this one instead of the TV. This is also really nice. Actually, I think I'm in love. This is what I'm going to do. Maybe leave the play button, see if it works for us here. Now, the play button is behind this image, so I just need to move it forward. There we go. I love this. I think it looks really good. And as you can see, when it comes to Canva, it's all about looking for the things that you think would look good It's not necessarily about finding the exact thing and how you want it to look and make it exact, but you can just play around with it and find out the elements that would fit your logo, fit your colors, whatever you want. So we have a more abstract one here and a more specific one with the image that we want here. Now if I want to download it, all I have to do is go here and select the format. PNG is always recommended. You can either download all of them or just choose one page that you want to download, and you have a logo. Now that we have finished with Canva, let's move on to the second method, which is to use an online logo maker. So I'm gonna go into this free logo maker, and the name is basically Logomakr without an E after the K. But if you want, I'm gonna leave a link down below if you want to use it. It's free, it's not affiliated or anything. I've just tested a few, and this was my favorite one. So you start off with a blank canvas, and all you have to do is start adding your elements into it. So just like we did with Canva, let's go in and search for some elements. So all you have to do is browse, and you can see here so many options. It's ridiculous the amount of options that you have here, and they're all free. You don't need to pay for any of them, so you really have your pick. Now I'm gonna go in and search for TV, just like we did before. Look at all of these options. There are so many TVs to choose from. You can get lost in it, but you really have to stay focused and think about what you want to use. You can change the color for each one of them, but take into account that you can change the color for all of the elements at once. So for example, if I want this TV with a TV red and a play button black, I should find this TV with no play button and a play button separately, and then put them together. So just take that into account. Now when I'm scrolling down again, I see a lot of really nice TVs here. Oh, and this one even has a business owner with a suit. That's also our niche, definitely. So I have a lot of options, but let's try another search term. Maybe we'll find something a little different. Let's go for online. Really interesting things here as well, as you can see. So we have a computer screen with a door sign, with a globe, a lot of things that could definitely be relevant to a brand that is called Online Biz TV. This one also looks very relevant. This one is basically an education one. Also this one, I really like this one actually. You have the businessman with the suit, and he's learning from the TV with the play button. I'm gonna choose it. Let's try to make it red. Of course, when you are creating your actual logo, I recommend that you actually have your color code and use it here, but I'm just gonna play around with reds that I actually like. Okay, this is a nice dark red, but I think I'm gonna keep it black. And then I'm gonna find a play button to put in here. Okay, this is the perfect play button, exactly what I wanted. Let's make it smaller. Now let's make the play button red. Awesome, I love this, and I can add some text. And of course, turn the text black. Move the text down here. Or I can make it red. Let's try the red. I'm gonna use the same red as I did here. This is really nice. So we have this option, and this is a logo that is basically ready completely for free. Now, if I wanna save it, I click the save button up here. As you can see, you can buy this in high resolution for $19. But you don't have to. You can also just download it in low resolution. The background will be transparent, but it will also be low resolution. So the way to deal with that, what I would recommend is to really increase everything, all of your elements, just so that when you download it, you have a little bit more of a wiggle room. And B, because this is a logo, you're not going to use a huge size of it. It's probably going to be in your social media or in your YouTube or in your website in small size. So it's not that bad that the logo is low resolution. Just take that into account. Now I'm gonna download it. There we go. I have my second logo, and we did all of that in just a few minutes. Let's move forward to the last method, and this one actually costs money. Fiverr is a freelancing website to help you find freelancers for whatever job that you need. Now, the thing is, you can find someone to create a logo for a few $100s. You can, but there's no reason to. With Fiverr, you can actually find someone to do it for pretty cheap. And when I say cheap, I mean $5 to $10 for your logo. And that's good. And the logo, there's no reason for it not to be high quality. So first thing first, let's just look for logo designers. I'm just gonna search for that on Fiverr. And as you can see, it opens up a few different people. First thing, before I even look at them, I'm gonna change the budget to be, let's say, up to $20. Of course, you're going to negotiate the budget with them, but we are looking for people who are willing to work for cheap. As you can see, there are a few different styles here, and you can actually just click around and see their portfolio. And this one, for example, has some really nice designs. These look like designs that we would like to use just with the white or transparent background rather than the black. Then we have some different styles here that are a little more colorful, more intricate. Now when we scroll down a little more, again, we will see different styles for different people. There's this one that looks more like painted logos. These are beautiful. They don't really fit my brand, but honestly, look at this. And the budget is starting at $15. This is really not expensive. Another good example here. So what you want to do when you're looking for a freelancer to create your logo is either go search like I just did and actually talk to each one that you think is interesting and ask them for their proposal, or even better is to create an order, which is what we are going to go through right now. So I would click on my profile, post a request, and then I'm going to start by writing a description of what I want this job to include. I'm going to write it real quick and then we're going to go over it together. So I finished writing it up and I just want to go over it with you really quickly. So to begin with, I just describe what I'm looking for, which is a designer to create a modern, simple logo for my YouTube channel. It is an educational channel in the business niche. And actually I'm going to change the word simple to clean because it describes better the kind of style that I'm looking for. The logo needs to have the name Online Biz TV and at least one of the elements that fit the brand, like TV, play button, globe, educational symbols, etc. I do want to leave it a little open for them to actually maybe add something that I haven't thought about. One more thing that I actually forgot to put here is the brand colors. So we have black and we have this red that I used here. So I'm just gonna copy the code. And then moving forward, I have some examples of styles that I like, which I want to create with you guys. We're going to get to it in a second. The last line in my request is to please include a first draft of the design that fits the requirements in the proposals. This is really important. You can't always just count on what you see in the portfolio. It is a good idea to ask them to actually create something for you so you can gauge whether it is a good fit, it's in the good direction or not. And it's okay, it doesn't need to be perfect. It's not necessarily something you use right off the bat, but it will give you an idea to the style of the designer and their ability to actually implement your instructions. So to find examples, I'm gonna go to Google, and if you have a competitor or someone in your niche where you know you like the logo of, you can just give them a link to this logo, but I don't have anything in mind. So I'm just gonna say, let's look for online logo. And then when I do an image search, I have a different stuff here. So I could just find a specific logo that I like, but honestly, none of them, this is closer, but none of them really fit what I'm looking for. Let's try TV. Okay, this is more in the direction. So we have this as a good example. Let's actually give them a link to this thing. So this is one link. I always like to give at least 2 examples so they get a range of what I'm looking for, because this could be really limiting. I also like this one a lot. And for a real request, you can keep looking, but I think I've had enough with these two examples. Now when I'm scrolling down, there is a category to choose from, and for us it is graphic and design, and then a subcategory which for us is logo design. It's all the first one. Now scrolling some more, we need to choose the criteria for our logo, and I don't know how important it is, but I'm gonna do flat and minimal. Really choose whatever style you think fits you, and then how long you give them to actually finish the job once it is started. You can do 3 days, 7 days. Honestly, it depends on how fast you need the job to be done and how complex it is. So for me, it's not very complex, but it's also not very urgent. 3 days is good. And lastly, your budget. And I'm gonna put here $10. Again, you can talk to the designer and actually decide together. You need to talk to them and decide together on how much you're going to pay before they start the job. But this sets a good expectation of how much you're actually going to pay. And then all you have to do is submit the request, which I'm not going to do because I don't actually need a logo designer at this moment. And once you're done, you will have your order under orders here, and you will be able to look for the order and see the proposals that you've gotten, or you could go to messages and see any messages you got from different designers to your proposal. So when you're looking for this freelancer, I really recommend that you focus on the design and the instructions. See, like we said, an example of what they would do for you in advance, so you know it's even in the right direction and not completely irrelevant for you. See that they can communicate with you. If this is a designer you want to keep working on long term, if this is a designer you want to keep working with long term, it is really important to know that this designer can actually communicate properly, answer, and give you all the information that you need. Budget, of course, is important. Don't offer to pay $10 for someone who demands usually $100. You'll have to go for the cheaper freelancers, but it doesn't mean they're not as good. Honestly, there are really good cheap freelancers on Fiverr, so don't fall into the trap of thinking that more money equals better quality. It's not always true. This is it. We now have our very own logo for whatever need you need it for. It can be for your website, for email templates, for social media. You can use it for whatever. As I said, this is not perfect. And it's not going to be perfect if you do it yourself unless you are a designer yourself, in which case, forget everything I just said. But you don't need it to be perfect. No business starting out is perfect because you are starting out and you're learning as you go, and that is totally fine. And trust me, no one is going to look at any of these logos that we've just created and say, oh, this doesn't look serious enough, I don't want to do business with them. They're going to care more about the general look and feel of your website, your messaging, and your actual results, pricing. These are the things that people care about, not your logo. So let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these. Maybe even share your websites and logos that you've created for them. I would love to see it. And if you want us to make any more videos like this, showing you how to do these small tasks of establishing your business for the first time, let me know in the comments. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification to get notified whenever we post new videos. I will see you in the next video. Until then, have a great day. Bye.